there, writers and muse daters. Annalisa Parent coming at you. This is an unusual podcast episode, but really excited about today's episode. Here I am interviewed by Gary Barnes of Gary Barnes International, talking about the power of a book, the power of getting your message out into the world, and how authors can do that and do it faster than they think, better than they think, and really have even better results than they could even imagine. So this is a short one today. It's a special episode. We're doing a unique thing here by putting out a special edition. But I just wanted to share this really important message with you and this great interview with Gary Barnes. I'm so grateful to Gary for this interview, and I look forward to writing with you. So enjoy this special edition of the Writing Gym podcast. Happy writing.
Thank you for joining us so early this morning. And in many areas, I know, Annalisa, you're on the East Coast right now, so it's almost lunchtime.
Yes.
But some of you know that Annalisa has been a primary speaker at my boot camp. She's been one of the keynoters. And for the last 2 boot camps, correct?
Yes.
And you're coming back in January.
I'm so excited to be there.
Well, you know, it's just one of those things that when you find somebody that delivers so much in a short period of time that, you know, you just got to keep them coming because everybody loves you. But, you know, this is not about the boot camp. What I wanted to do is really, you know, you all know how much I really believe in getting your book out and getting that showcase and becoming that celebrity in a way that I don't know of a better way to do it, and how magically connecting that book to you, to your audience is. And so, you know, just real quick, Annalisa, I had a couple of questions, and then we got a special announcement at the end that I just wanted everybody to know about. But, you know, in your experience, you know, working with authors around the world, what is the main benefits that someone would have as a takeaway for going ahead and for me going through the anxiety, the pain, the work of actually creating a book with their name on it and being able to showcase it to the world?
Great question, Gary. And you know, the thing is, in the literary world, we have this expression "birthing a book" because it's similar. I don't know from personal experience, but from what I understand, to having a child. There's a lot of effort there. There's a lot of anxiety. And, you know, one of the things that I've heard you say even is, you know, there's never a right time. You're never ready for the kid. You're never ready for the book. But once that baby arrives, once that book arrives, once you've got it in your hands, your world changes. That experience of having gone through the birthing and all of that preparation, now your message is out in the world. You can share that with people, not just by speaking with them, but a book is a time machine. You don't have to be there to share your message. They can read it while you're sleeping, and it becomes your legacy. They can read it once you have passed.
Well, and the other thing that I have found, once you have a book, you're now considered safe with meeting planners. If you're a speaker in the on TV, radio, if you have a book, even though you wrote it, you published it, or you even going to a publisher, I mean, it's one of those things that it seems a little strange that you all of a sudden become an overnight celebrity, and you're safe when you have that. Have you found that with your authors?
Oh, absolutely. It gets them amazing exposure, opens doors. And it's funny, you know, I pay attention to this because it's my world. But if you pay attention for the next week or so, every time that you're in the car and you hear something on the radio or you see something on television, that when they're making their closing remarks after an interview, they say, "This is Gary Barnes, the author of the new book, blah, 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 blah," right? So it's because of that book that they're getting that radio spot, that television spot, whatever it is, sometimes in unexpected places, right? It might be a game show or something. And part of the publicity of the book is the appearance on the game show, the interview on the radio. It is phenomenal what a book can do for you.
The neatest thing for me is when somebody says, I don't know who you are, but I've heard of you. And so a lot of that is because of that exposure with the books that I've written. And, and they do forget your name. They don't know Gary Barnes from anyone. Annalisa Parent, you have a unique name that people will remember. Gary Barnes goes to jail, dies, and is a celebrity every single day on Google. So it's a very common name. It's an amazingly common name. So the thing that I see is that elevate and separate proposition, that people, you think that, okay, everybody's writing a book. Is that true?
I mean, everybody should write a book. Everybody has a story to tell, but the people who actually get to the end are far and few between, right? And this is a statistic that I talk about a lot, that there are 20 million people who write a book on their bucket list for their life, and 1 million books get published in any given year. And that includes self-published books and traditionally published books. So all books together, only 1 million. So that's 19 million people in any given year who aren't reaching their dream.
Right. So, everybody knows that I really love the practical things. And before we get to the end, what are the 2 or 3 suggestions that you have, Drew, for anyone listening that is thinking about writing a book, getting it out there? What would you say are the, 3 steps, or the 3 things to get ready to do it? So chunking it down, I think, is really important, because it can be something that becomes so overwhelming, we get stuck in the process. So what are some of your suggestions for that, either an author that has maybe written a book and it has gone nowhere, nobody knows it's out there, or somebody that has always wanted to birth a book? And I say the same thing. My wife says, no, it isn't. But, I just go, for a man, give me a break. But somebody that is wanting to do that, what are some tips that you can give everyone today?
Sure. I think the best tip that I can give is the best tip that I got from my writing mentor, Julia Alvarez, who got it from someone else. And that is, if you want to be a writer, get your butt in a chair. In other words, you have to sit and do it. What do writers do? They write. And, having that targeted time where that is the thing that you're going to do, getting into that discipline, and making writing a part of your daily schedule, making it a job, that tends to have a negative connotation, but having a habit is really the most important thing that you want to do. And one of the stories I tell, Gary, you've probably heard me tell it before, way back in my beginning writer days, my mantra, my sticky note above my desk was, writers, write. So if you want to be a writer, write. That's what you have to do. And I mean, I'm going to use that as all 3 of my big tips, because it's really the most important thing, is having that dedicated time, the time that's free from distraction. If you've got your phone next to you, that's not going to work. If your kids are going to be knocking at the door, that's not going to work. So having that time away to concentrate and to really get your message out into the world in a meaningful way.
So it's kind of like the Nike, just do it. Just get it out.
They already took that one. Maybe I can have just write it.
Yeah, there you go. And for me, I think one of the things that really I had to get over and get unstuck with was the concept, well, I'm not a writer. I don't know the grammatic or whatever, and I'm a speaker. And so I didn't want to be wrong or bad or get judged. But from what I'm hearing from you, is just get it out there. There's other people that can clean it up. And the thing that I've told my staff over the years is, I make a mess, you organize it and make me look pretty. And so my job is to create the content. My job is to get the message out. And when we do that, there's other people that have those talents. Am I on the right track there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that what you're tapping into there is being willing to invest in yourself, believing in your message enough that you put that additional effort in to say, okay, I can create the message. I've got the story and I need some help. I need someone who's a true professional to help me to package this in a way that the world will interface with it. Because just because you have a story to tell doesn't mean that people want to listen. You talked about that a few moments ago, where people write books, but they don't sell. Well, I can say from personal experience, working with those authors after the fact, it's because it wasn't well packaged in a way that the market will accept it and buy it and pass it on.
And I think that's really important from the marketing standpoint, where I come from a lot, is that we want to have whatever we do truly representative of who we are. And if we have something out there that doesn't represent that well, it'd be better not to do it. So it's nice that you have that system in place. So, I'm really excited. I know that you have worked with authors around the world, and you just hit that point of the suggestion of dedicating time to write. And you do something actually overseas that has become very popular and exciting for a lot of people to be able to get that done. So let's just go in and share what you have coming up in, I forget the month, May? Is it May?
May, yeah. May. So in May of 2019, we will be writing at a gorgeous manor house on the coast of England. It's in Devon. It's right next to the Exmoor National Park. There are wild ponies roaming, UNESCO listed skies for the stargazing. It's absolutely beautiful. We go for 5 days. You get to work with me as your professional writing coach to talk about your publishing plan, or people use that time for any number of things, to talk with me about what they're writing. And you've got time away in the quiet, that dedicated time to concentrate. And, Gary, the reason why we chose England is, one, for its literary richness. This is where Coleridge wrote, and Shelley and Byron. And so we're drawing on the richness of that place for inspiration. But the other reason is that England is really far away. And even though we live in a digital world and we can keep in touch with our families and our businesses and all of those things back home, we're really giving ourselves the opportunity to remove ourselves for 5 full days to dedicate to our writing. And we're really pampered. We have beautiful meals cooked for us. There are no dishes to wash, no dogs to feed, no kids to, have bedtime with. We're really able to concentrate and get the writing done. And it's a magical, beautiful experience for people who are looking to get that inspiration to write that book and to have some time away.
Well, and I've been following some of your posts, and I think one of the other benefits is that there's a community that is built and a support system that is created with the participants as they go through the process.
Absolutely. The participants from last year have flown across the country to visit each other. One of our participants recently had surgery and has been overwhelmed with all of the get well support and help. It's really beautiful. And then, of course, they're buying each other's books that are now on the market, and supporting each other in that, and writing each other reviews for their books, right? So it's a beautiful community that we've created, and I'm super proud to be a part of it. All of our work is based on neuroscience and really working in positivity and talking about what's working. And so you see that in the way that they interact with each other and how they're lifting each other up. And I don't know about other niches, but in the writing community, it's not always like that. There's a lot of backbiting and comparison and all this kind of stuff that doesn't exist at all in our world. It's really beautiful to be a part of.
Well, I just want to encourage everyone. Thank you for being with us. But Annalisa, how can they reach out to you to get more information now and be able to lock in one of those? You only have a few spots left, if I understand correctly.
We do. It's almost full. So now is the time to talk with me. We do everything by interview. So for people to apply, we want to make sure that it's the right fit, right? It's a really small, intimate group, and we want to make sure that it's the right fit. So if people would like to apply, they can go to www.datewiththe themuse.com/England, and you'll see many videos there of the location, hear past participants' experience, and you can book a time to chat with me about coming to join us in England. www.datewiththemuse.com/England.
And Muse is MUSE,
SE.
because I know we have international people watching, and sometimes the spelling and I don't want anybody to get frustrated because the URL doesn't work. And
Yeah.
So everyone, I just wanted to really give Annalisa a little bit of a shout out here, particularly because it was really important what you just said, to see if you're a good fit. This is not a sales Zoom, it's an information one that I just wanted to let everyone know that there's an opportunity that's coming up. And if it's a right fit for you, I just would want to encourage you to reach out to Annalisa and just check it out. So, Annalisa, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you, Gary. It's been a real pleasure talking with you about getting people's books out.
Absolutely. Let's get her done, as they say. So everyone have a wonderful day, and we will talk soon. Bye.